Well, what's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are gonna go over 5 things Honda can do to improve the next generation Civic Type-R. So this is the FL5, which came out for the 2023 model year. For 2025, it is still the same car. Only real difference, they updated the nav screen with the Google Assistants. Now, for the previous gen, which was the FK8, that ran from 2017 to 2021 model year. So possibly a 26 and 27 might be the last of the FL5s, and then Honda may introduce a 12th generation Civic and introduce a new generation Civic Type-R. So here are basically the 5 things that I think they could add to the next generation to make this car even better. This has been one of the most surprising cars I've ever owned. I did not think I would like it as much as I do, but I have enjoyed it so much. I've had it for about 4 months, driven it almost 2,000 miles, did a 300-mile trip the other weekend. I drive this a lot. It has been a perfect complementary car to the other 2 in the garage. So with that said, let's get right to number 1, which is LED lighting. So the FL5 for the rear end has basic halogen bulbs for the turn signal as well as the reverse lights. You would think for a modern car that's nearly $50,000, you'd get LEDs. You got LEDs in the front, of course the Acura Integra Type-S, which is the luxury version of this car basically, has nice LED lighting. So with that said, I'm gonna show you real quick the LasFit lights that you can add to your car. I will have this linked down in the description. We've been using LasFit lights for probably 5 or 6 years now, and I really like them. And as you can tell with the turn signals, having the hazards on, there's no hyper flash either. They have built-in resistors, which is so cool. Normally when you add LEDs, it doesn't always go that smooth, but with LasFit, of course, it goes perfectly well every time. So let's get right into the install. Now the reason why I have the hazards on right now, I have currently had them on for 3.5 minutes, just to show you that they don't overheat, they keep going forever and ever. I did a 300-mile trip in this the other day with a police escorted drive, and we had to have our hazards on the whole time. So you're not gonna get any of the hyper flash, which is really cool. But anyways, for the install for this, you're gonna simply pop off this plastic piece. There's 2 screws on the inside, and then from there, you can just pop the whole assembly right off, and then you twist out the stock turn signal bulb and replace it with the LasFit one. You can do it in about 5 minutes. Now, as far as the reverse lights go, those are gonna be mounted up here. They're the bulbs right in here. All we have to do is find the little panel underneath, pop it off, and the bulb is right there. And on my car, I've even went a bit further, and I have an LED light for the cargo light, which is really nice at night. This car has a huge trunk, and when this is closed at night or anything, it just lights up so much with one little LED. So lighting on the Civic Type-R is really nice when it's LED. Honda should have done that. I don't know why they didn't. Modern cars have had LED lighting pretty much all around for many, many years, and it seems like that is the best lighting technology currently. So Honda, next generation Type-R, give us some LEDs. So for number 2 on the list is let's make the rear seats match the front seats. Now the Type-R has my favorite bucket seats, especially for the price point. You got these super nice micro suede large style buckets. They feel really nice. They're insanely comfortable. The bolsters hold you well. I would say the top 3 bucket seats factory. This, the BMW M cars, carbon seats, and maybe a Lamborghini Huracan's carbon bucket seats as well. So the fact that this car's bucket seats compete, in my opinion, with way better cars, that is pretty cool. But the weird thing is for this Type-R, again, this car's about 47 grand brand new. You get cheap fabric for the back, just basic black fabric. There is some red stitching in the red seatbelts, but first off, they don't match. So you have red and black, which kind of looks a little weird, and it's just a cheap material. You know, again, it's the price of your car. Why not give you something nice? On the back of these seats, you can see the nice micro suede for the whole backing. So why not at least give us the black micro suede? I don't quite mind the mix matched colors, but the quality, it's just cheap fabric versus micro suede, which is very high quality, and I think a nice premium interior material. Of course, other cars will have like leather and maybe real Alcantara, but cheap fabric is not okay. On top of that, maybe give us a couple amenities, maybe air vents or USB plugs or even an armrest or something. This is an insanely scarce back seat. Number 3 on the list is gonna be Honda should add all-wheel drive, I think. Now, maybe it doesn't have to be standard because a lot of people love the front-wheel drive platform, and it is really cool to see how good a front-wheel drive car can truly be. This is such a blast to drive the way it is, but it has its limitations. You know, even for me in North Carolina, don't really deal with the snow and everything, so I don't need all-wheel drive. But if it is cold out or wet out, this car does not put power down. If I hit boost in the wet, it spins the tires easy for 2nd and 3rd gear. It's kind of fun to play with that, do some, a little driving with it, have the tires spin, but realistically, traction is always better. So if Honda did all-wheel drive, it would also make it more competitive. The Golf R, all-wheel drive, the GR Corolla, all-wheel drive. Even though the WRX is a step down in performance, people are liking it because it has all-wheel drive. So I think if Honda gave this at least an all-wheel drive option, 2,000 bucks or so, I would spec it. Also because this car, I don't crave modifying it as far as power gains go. It's really quick the way it is, but I know if I add any power, I'm gonna have more and more traction issues, which I think will limit the fun. If this were all-wheel drive, you could really, really crank this up and actually make more and more power, still enjoying all the handling. So I think that would give you more well-rounded modification potential to actually get the power to the ground. And it would be pretty cool. It would, of course, add a little bit of weight to the car, but I think for those who want more power out of this, but still get, 95% of the handling, I think all-wheel drive could be a really cool upgrade. I don't know if Honda would ever do that. This is a front-wheel drive platform. It makes a lot of sense, but that would be pretty sweet. Number 4 on the list is an automatic transmission. Now, I know that is going to upset a lot of people, the fact that I would even think an automatic could be a cool option, but I love the manual. It is amazing. It's great to see this car only coming in a manual, but if there's an automatic transmission, this would make this car even more well-rounded. Judging by the comments that I get, there are a lot of people who would love to buy the Civic Type-R as their daily driver, people who don't really want to own 2 cars, one for the Monday through Friday and one for the weekends. They want to own a Type-R as their day-to-day car as well as their weekend car. But people, who have a normal job deal with bumper-to-bumper commuting traffic a lot. And a stick shift just isn't all too fun when you're commuting like that. And a lot of people, judging by your guys' comments, are going for a Golf R or an automatic GR Corolla or a WRX GT because they kind of want this type of car, but they simply need the automatic, and they still get the fun factor in those other cars. So I don't know if Honda really has the resources to make a super good automatic, because we do not want a CVT in this. I think that would ruin it. Nobody would buy it, just like probably what Subaru's seeing with their CVT in their WRX. But maybe if Honda has a dual clutch they could figure out, or if their 10-speed or something that is an automatic could fit in this car, I think that would do well in sales. Of course, do not get rid of the manual. I think that makes this car come alive. It feels like a Porsche's stick shift. It is so good in this car. It's so much fun to rotate the gears. But I think there is some value to having an automatic for people who simply need the day-to-day benefits of an auto, but still on the weekends can enjoy the handling, the fun factor, pop it into the manual mode, use the power shifters, and still enjoy all of the fun that this car has to offer. So it would be cool, make this car even more well-rounded. This very much is kind of a niche market car, being front-wheel drive manual only. It does take a lot of people out of buying this car, and they simply aren't going to buy it because of those reasons. So if they really want to even sell more of these, I think making this car more well-rounded without sacrificing what this car has to offer in this configuration would be really nice. And by the way, we are at 16.5 minutes, still not experiencing any hyperflash in these LasFit LED lights. So check out the link down below if you want to get a kit for your Civic Type-R, modernize your car, get rid of the stupid halogens that for whatever reason Honda sticks in this car. So with that said, that leads me to the 5th thing I think Honda should upgrade when they make the next generation, basically is to trickle down some of the things we are seeing in the Integra Type-S. Now, at the current pricing, an Integra Type-S is around $6,000 more than a Type-R. I have yet to drive one. I would hope this year we can get our hands on one so I can experience what the Type-S has to offer. Of course, drive it side by side to this, the RS3, compare it to many cars in this class. So I want to get my hands on one and check it out and see what it's like. But judging by what a lot of people have commented, the Integra Type-S has a lot of nice upgrades to it. One of them being the suspension tuning. You can simply order from your Acura dealer the suspension control module, plug it in where this one is plugged in, and you get all the benefits of the suspension upgrades in that car. It'll make this more well-rounded once again with the suspension without sacrificing handling. So maybe retune the suspension. I don't have an issue, but a lot of people do say this is a bit too harsh for day-to-day driving. I end up driving it in comfort mode suspension all the time. That's how I have my individual setup. Everything's in race mode, steering in sport, suspension in comfort. The R mode suspension I really only use for a perfect smooth road because yes, it is a bit backbreaking for the day-to-day. So upgrade that. Along with that, maybe add heads-up display like what you get in the Integra. I really like having that for a tack for your shift lights. Now obviously you kind of should feel and hear your car, you should know when to shift, but when you're really concentrating on those back roads, it is nice to not have to even think about looking down at the speedometer and gauge cluster to know when to shift. I was playing with the RS3 the other day, and in the RS Performance mode, it has a really cool tack shift light in the heads-up display. and I really liked that. Another thing some people might like is heated seats. Obviously, some of these things add weight. The goal with the Type-R is to not be a heavy luxury car, but I don't think heated seats really weigh that much. The Civic Si has it. Obviously not exactly a performance car compared to this, but maybe throw in that because some people like it. On top of that, garage door button built into the car would be really nice. You know, this car doesn't really have that. So maybe for the next gen, keep the Civic Type-R kind of the way it is, but maybe add a $3,000 touring package or something like that. I think on the FK8 they had a touring and a normal version, but give us a touring or tech package or comfort package, $3 grand, and give that those few luxury things that the Integra Type-S has. And this also goes to show you how long it actually takes to film a video. As you can see, I've been filming for almost 21 minutes. This video is probably under 10 minutes long. So obviously it takes a little bit more moving the camera, dealing with noisy traffic or something going through. But once again, still no hyperflash on these LED lights for the Type-R. They integrate nicely to the LEDs that are on the mirrors as well as the headlights. Why, Honda? Why didn't you update this car? With that said, those are 5 things that I can think of that would improve the next generation Honda Civic Type-R. I'm expecting we'll probably see it in 2 years from now, so not exactly around the corner, but you never know. We'll see when Honda comes out with the next gen Civic. Maybe they'll do a mid-cycle refresh. I don't know, I guess we'll see. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content. Check out the LED kit down in the description below, along with all-weather floor mats. I think I might pick up a set for this just to keep the interior cleaner as well. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.